Hello, everybody. It's the old bear from the old bear's den of Bigfoot. Today we have an encounter that came out of Florida, out of the panhandle of Florida. And what happened was a gentleman, um, an older guy, he lost his wife a few years ago, and he owns a piece of property. And on that piece of property, there is a good sized creek that him and his wife would always go fishing on. Now, they would fish towards the house and towards the road that goes past their house. And when they would go fishing together, they never went very far up the creek. Well, after his wife passed, it's understood. The man, he loved his wife, much as I do mine, even though she's the best part of this relationship and the smartest and probably the best at everything. But anyways, he was a little bit depressed because he lost his wife. And after some time, he decided that he was going to go fishing out of uh, remembering his wife, and out of respect for her, he didn't go fishing in the usual spot. He went further up the creek. Now, he owns quite a bit of property up in there. And at the end of his property is where a rather swampy kind of area is. It might encompass 30, 40 acres. It's just kind of swampy. It's got dry ground in it, but it's still got swamp and stuff like that in it. And he decided he was going to go up there next to it. There's a big deep hole after it comes out of the swamp, and that's where he was going to go fishing. Now, he'd been there for. Pause. I gotta go. Sorry about that, guys. Older I get, anyway. But anyway, he went to this fishing hole, and when he got there, it was fairly late in the morning, um, around 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, and he fished for about 3 or 4 hours. Well, now, while he was there, he never had nothing occur. And never heard nothing. He heard birds, animals moving around. He saw, fish in the water and stuff like that in that pool. And he really didn't catch anything. I think he caught maybe 3 fish. Somebody riding a pipeline there. And he took those 3 fish, went back down to his house. And when he got down to his house, he cleaned the fish, got everything ready, had dinner, fixed himself the fish, and he had a real good dinner. And he said he was just relaxing, and he decided he was going to go over on his front porch. And when he went to the front porch, he sat down, and like most men, I say most, but it may not be half, but whatever. He decided he was going to light up a cigar. Now, when his wife was alive, he never did this. For the simple fact is, she didn't like cigars. She thought they stunk. My wife does too, so she doesn't seem to like them. Anyways, after he lit up his cigar, he's sitting on the front porch, and the porch lights is on, and off to his left, at the end of the porch, is his driveway. Well, he's got a little garage-like building out there, but it's not got a car in it. His car always sits out at the end of the sidewalk. And he he heard a commotion coming from the garage area. Well, he went inside real quick, quietly, opened the door, and inside the door is his trusty flashlight that he likes. He's had it for years. One of those big old long black ones that held 6 D-cell batteries, and they're heavy enough to put a concussion on someone. So he hears this commotion, and he noticed that the light to the garage, so it had to be on the back side of the garage or on the side away from the house where this commotion was coming from. So he walks out there, and he sneaks off the end of the porch, down the sidewalk, sneaks past his car, and goes out and sneaks up the side of the house to keep the automatic lights from kicking on, the motion sensor lights. And he gets underneath of them and swings his light up to trigger the motion sensor. And the lights come on, and he hears rustling, like something's turning to run or turning away. Now, at the end of the house is a boat him and his wife used to use on the local ponds and lakes and everything like that, and they would fish from it. They loved to go fishing together. It was their time, their thing. They took it up doing it more often after their kids had grown, and basically now the kids lived in parts of Florida. Some of them lived down in the southern part towards Tampa Bay, and some lived over near Orlando. And so, it was him and his wife's thing to do. So at that point, he turns his light on because there's light out front and they can't see the beam. And he steps around the side of the corner of the garage, and right when he steps around, his boat and trailer go flying past him. Didn't hit him. Now, this is a 12-foot John boat on a single axle lightweight boat trailer that he pulled with a small pickup that him and his wife had. I don't know if it was a Dodge Dakota, I don't know if it was an S10 or a Ranger or whatever, but he pulled it with a small pickup. And the boat comes out and goes and then nosedives into the ground right at a tree, and it flips up and hits the tree and makes all kinds of noise. Now, he said that he could pull this boat onto the trailer by himself. It wasn't very big. It was a light aluminum boat. Didn't have a motor on it. Didn't have, all the frills and stuff that you can get on them nowadays. It just had 2 oars in the boat, and the trolling motor and the battery that he used were in the garage. So, after this boat goes flying past him, he stands there and he looks at it for a few seconds, and then he remembers why he was there, and he shines his light. He steps fully around the garage and shines his light, and he sees this big... This is what he sees. The back side of something with its arms going like that. And he said it was about 7.5, 8 foot tall, hair covered. When he hit it with a light, I guess it could see its shadow, and it stopped and just stood there. And he said at that point, he didn't know what to do, which is understandable because most people wouldn't know what to do. The better part at that time is probably to turn and go back to the house and arm yourself, but he didn't. He said it just stood there for 2 or 3 seconds and went, ugh, and just started walking off with bent knees, arms down next to its knees while they were bent, and just kind of leaned forward and walked off. And he, the director's talking to me, sorry. If you could see the facial expressions and the hand signals this little woman is giving me, you'd be laughing. But we're not going to do it. Anyways, he, at this point, turns, walks, goes back inside. He calls his sons, and they say, Dad will be up first thing in the morning. The next morning, they come up, and at that point, they go out there and start looking around, and they find a track about 18 inches long with 3 toes. Yeah. It's like you have this toe, this one's gone, and the big toe. That's kind of what they found of the track. The one track they found that they could tell that it was a track that had the heel on it, and it was a wide heel, and you could see the metatarsal break because it's like it lifted its heel up and left its front part of its foot down, and it left a good impression on the pad of the foot, and it left the toe impressions, and that's the only track. They found other ones that could be possibly from this creature, but he wasn't for sure. So I thought I'd bring this account to you. We got some more. I just got to get time because of my job. Haven't had time to put anything out, and I apologize. But we're going to have some more coming out. We're going to make some this weekend. We're trying to do some this week. We got a live on the 22nd. And we have a camp out coming on in April at Salt Fork. We also have one in August at Salt Fork. And one in October of this year, the 2nd through the 5th of October. I can give you those dates now because I've already put that out on the channel. And Dirt Road Bigfoot and I decided to have a third one at Salt Fork this year, and we chose October. And I think that's the last weekend that they have one. There might be another one. But there might be one after that, but I think they said they'd close it on the 12th. Anyways, if you want to come to the one in October, everybody's welcome. I expect certain people to be there. I'd say probably Dirt Road Bigfoot and his wife Ice Bunny, and of course the Old Bear will be there, and Mrs. Old Bear will be there, and we probably will have some other YouTube channels there. Hopefully we can get we might be able to talk Nance into coming if she ain't busy. Grizzly Chris, we'll try to get him. We will try to get some other Bigfooters that do not have YouTube channels, but we want everybody to come. We're thinking about having a speaker on Friday night, which will probably be Icebox, which is Dirt Road Bigfoot. Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, we're going to have a calling contest for anyone that wants to join. I cannot be in it. Don't worry. I am a judge. I've already been told I can't enter, so I'm not going to be a ringer. Mrs. Old Bear will not be allowed to join. She's also going to be a judge. And there will be one other judge, and that's the surprise judge. We'll let you know more about that later on. And then Saturday evening, we're talking about making a huge thing of chili. Now, it's not going to be spicy. It'll be very good because it's going to be put on low about noon. We're going to put everything together at about noon and turn it on real low and let it cook and simmer all day long. So that way when you bite into it, the beans are going to be soft. If there's any onions or anything like that in there, it'll all be soft, cooked, and it'll taste real good. I promise you. I'll be cooking the chili probably. My wife likes me to cook chili. I don't know why, but she does. But we hope everybody comes and has fun, and we hope and pray that everybody comes and that they enjoy the camp out. We're going to do a few things during this one, and that way people have things to do. And if you bring your kids on Saturday, they can get into the Bigfoot calling contest. They don't have to be making Bigfoot howls, but they can try. And there'll be age groups. And we're deciding on maybe having, the winner of an age group gets a prize or whatever. And if you come and you're a ringer, you're probably going to lose right off the bat. I'll just let you know. Because it's supposed to be family, it's supposed to be fun, and that's what we want. We don't want any drama. We ask no alcohol comes into the campground. There's none allowed at the campground. But we ask that you come, have fun, enjoy talking to people. If you got Bigfoot accounts, come over and find me or Mrs. Bear, and she can interview you or I can interview you. But be ready to be on camera, because there will probably be a bunch of cameras going off, or pictures taken, videos taken, and they'll be put up on the on my channel and other channels. And we just hope you come and have fun. But tell me what you think about that encounter that the older gentleman had, and we pray each and every day for everyone that watches this channel, and we ask that pray for us when you can, and may God bless each and every one of you each and every day of your life. And if you don't know Jesus Christ, we ask that you sit down and have a talk with him. Your life will be better for it. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.